welcome to Miss Duggar's At-Home Math. Before we get started, you're going to want to gather a few things. You'll need your book, a calculator, a piece of paper, a pencil, and let's turn off all those distractions. The TV and mute your phone. Go ahead. I'll be right back. Okay, you ready? All right, label your paper like this. AHM, which stands for At-Home Math. The lesson number, today's date, or your name, and then today's date. Okay, today we're going to look at lesson 6.3. It's on page 316 in your book. It's on polygons and angles. And let's remember what a polygon is. It's a many-sided closed figure. Poly means many, so it can be three or more. And closed means if I were to draw the figure, I wouldn't have to raise my pencil off the paper. This is an example of a pentagon. Polygons are named for the number of sides they have, and penta means 5, so this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. And just to define an interior angle, it's one of the angles that's formed on the inside of the polygon. All right. As I said, polygons are named for the number of sides they have. You should have a chart that names all of them. You might want to hold on to that so you're not constantly having to look up how many sides each polygon has. All right. So the two things we're going to do in this lesson, number one, we're going to determine the sum of the measures of a polygon. And number two, we're going to figure out how to determine the measure of one angle in a regular polygon. So we'll have to define what a regular polygon is. But for right now, let's look at the sum of the measures. So this is an important little factoid here. The sum of the measures of the interior angles of a polygon is given by this equation. So if I add up all the inside angles, that sum is equal to n minus 2 times 180, where n is the number of sides. So in this case, if I wanted to determine the sum of the angles of the pentagon, n would be 5. So let's try this out. Let's look at example 1 on page 316. It says, find the sum of the measures of the interior angles of a decagon. So we're going to use this formula where sum is equal to the number of sides minus 2 times 180. A decagon has 10 sides. So we substitute in 10 for the n and then subtract. So s is equal to 8 times 180, or the sum of all the measures of a decagon is 1,440 degrees. Okay, so on your paper, problem 1 that you'll hand in tomorrow in the homework folder, you want to try to answer this question. Find the sum of the measures of the interior angles of an octagon. You're going to pause the video, try it, and then when you resume the video, we'll do it together so you can check your work and you can change it and fix it at that point. Okay, good luck. Okay, so again we use the equation sum is equal to n minus 2 times 180. An octagon has 8 sides, so we substitute 8 for n. Subtract, we get 6, and multiply. The sum of all the angles of an octagon is 1,080 degrees. How'd you do? Polygons are defined as equilateral when all of their sides are congruent. Remember, that symbol stands for congruent and it means the same. So this triangle is an equilateral triangle. It's got 3 equal sides, and those hash marks, 1 hash mark on each indicates that they're all the same. Or 2 hash marks on each, or 3, as long as they have the same number of hash marks. All right, equal angular is when all of the angles are congruent. So this square has 4 90-degree angles, so it's equiangular. Regular polygons are defined as those polygons that have all their sides and all their angles congruent. So here's a really poorly drawn regular hexagon. All the sides are the same length and all the angles are the same measure. Okay, let's find the measure of any angle of a regular polygon. So we'll look at example 2. It's on page 317. And the question says, what's the measure of any interior angle of a regular quadrilateral? Remember, a quadrilateral has 4 sides. A square is an example of a regular quadrilateral. It's got 4 equal sides and 4 equal angles. So the first thing we want to do to determine the measure of any angle is to find the sum of the angles. And we use our sum formula, which says sum is equal to the number of sides, in this case 4 minus 2 times 180. So if we carry out the math there, we find that the sum of all the angles of a quadrilateral are 360. And then I want to divide by the number of sides, which in this case is 4. So 360 divided by 4 is 90 degrees. Okay, so your second problem for tonight is to find the measure of any interior angle of a regular 20gon. A 20gon is a polygon with 20 sides. So let's see how you did. Again, we want to calculate the sum of all the angles together in the 20gon. So we use our formula. Sum is equal to 20, the number of sides, minus 2 times 180. 20 minus 2 is 18. 18 times 180 is 3,240. Now I only want to know the measure of one angle, so I have to divide by the number of sides. So 3,240 divided by 20 is 162. So each angle in a 20gon measures 162 degrees. All right, that's it for tonight. So make sure you turn in problems 1 and 2 tomorrow in the homework folder, and have a good rest of the night, and we'll work on this stuff in class tomorrow. Take care.